Hello and welcome back to another episode of Python Basics on Pydroid. It's your boy Melusi Makola. You know what it is. You know what it is. So I've decided to approach this in a more academic manner to make sure that everyone benefits from this series. You know, because honestly, I want to grow as a coder as well. So how about I not make this whole experiencing even more valuable than it already is. So I wrote down a few notes and I kind of like prepared for this lesson. So let's go. Here at the top we have Python Basics on Pydroid, lesson 1. Technically, this is lesson 1 because the previous video was an introduction. And this is the first time we're actually going to be writing code. Getting started with Pydroid 3. Introduction to that. Welcome back to Python Basics with Melusi Makola. In this lesson, we'll dive into the fundamentals of Python programming using Pydroid 3, a powerful Python IDE for Android devices. This is very important, guys. Pydroid 3 is a powerful Python IDE for Android devices. So it's not for what can you say? It's not for PCs, laptops, it's for Android devices. Whether you're a beginner or looking to refresh your Python skills, this series will guide you through the essentials of Python programming. Here below we have the lesson structure, which is the introduction to Python, and Pydroid 3 is the first one on our agenda. Then we have number 2, writing your first program. That's going to be fun, I assure you. Variables and data types, basic operations, conditional statements, loops, conclusions, and next steps. Okay, I'm gonna fix some of the mistakes I made while I was typing this before, because I'm also a learner here, guys. So don't judge me. Can I begin with this? Right here, these hashes you see here are called, okay, I call them hashes. I don't really know what they're called. I forget. So a hash is used for a comment. A comment is basically piece of information you leave on your code as a for notes, as like way to communicate with your future self when you're coming back to the code and know what this is for, a piece of notes about a piece of code. I like that, a piece of note about a piece of code. So as you can see, my whole screen is green. My whole screen is green. I'm on a roll today, guys. I'm on a roll. So comments, you use them to write something that won't run on the interpreter. The interpreter, as soon as it sees the hash, it will interpret this as a comment and not run it onto the console. Anyway, you can use this thingy, guys. I'm not good with words. Please forgive me. I don't know if you can see this. Just can I zoom my screen? Okay, unfortunately not. I cannot zoom my screen. So guys, this thing, it's like a apostrophe. It's an apostrophe, right? Triple apostrophes. Yeah, 3 of them. I think you can also use like 3 double ones. Yeah, you can also use like the double ones for a lecturer of mine once said this is used for documentation. You know, it's where you like write like docs, because the interpreter will interpret this in a different manner than the hash. You know, because this is used to write bigger information. I just hope I'm making sense out here, guys. I just hope I'm making sense. But enough about that. Don't grab it back. Hope then they didn't even say welcome back. Okay, let's go. So, first on our agenda, introduction to Python and Pydroid 3. Let's go. What is Python? Python is a high-level interpreted programming language known for its simplicity and readability. It is widely used in various domains such as web development, data analysis, machine learning, and more. Python is Python's straightforward syntax and extensive libraries make it an ideal choice for both beginners and professionals alike. You heard it, right? You heard that. Simple, it's readable, it's used in a variety of industries, you know, which means like career-wise, you can basically choose where you want to go. If you want to design website, web development, data analysis, machine learning, you know, you have more options, if I can say, and it's beginner friendly. These are benefits of Python, but Python is a high-level interpreted programming language. Note, pay attention to that. It's an interpreted programming language. It's interpreted and it's high level. What is Pydroid? Pydroid 3 is a versatile integrated development environment (IDE) that allows you to write, run, and test Python code directly on your Android device. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced programmer, Pydroid 3 provides a convenient platform for learning, such as practicing Python programming on the go. So, uh, IDE, Integrated Development Environment. This one is specially developed for Android devices. So on PCs we have IDEs like PyCharm, Visual Studio Code. Uh, what else? We have a lot. What there's like a lot. There's a lot, you know. But this one is specifically designed for Android, for on the go. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced programmer, you can code on the go, you know, code snippets here, send it to someone real quick, you know. It's a good tool to have. Getting started with Pydroid 3. For those of you who don't have Pydroid 3 yet, here's how you can get it. You can go to Google Play on your Android device and download the Pydroid 3 app. Launching Pydroid 3. Once you've installed it, open the Pydroid 3 app to access the Python editor and interpreter. Explore the interface. Familiarize yourself with the Pydroid 3 interface, which includes the code editor, console output, area, file explorer, and toolbar for running and managing Python scripts. That's how you can get it. Go and download it, ladies and gentlemen. Go and run it. Okay, so here we are writing your first Python program. We're gonna write the most famous one. Let's go. So it's gonna be print. Oh, let me type in print. Whoa. Uh, Essentially, what this does, the, the print statement, the print statement will print whatever is in the brackets onto the screen, but it has to be either a string, an integer. Actually, it has to just be a valid data type. You know, if it's a string, as you know, we use the quotations, uh, integers. Okay, let's just print hello world first, then I'll go and explain it. Hello world, print. Let's run that. Hello world on the screen. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's a win, ladies and gentlemen. Because, like, if we can make our phone say hello world, we can make our phone say anything. Okay, let me show you with integers. Print 500 plus 1000. Let's print that. See what happens. 1500. So it automatically added what was in the brackets and it gave me the total amount, which is cool. So you can, that's pretty much it with the print statement. Prints, as I say, it's not really difficult. Should I erase the code? Nah, let me leave the code here. Yeah, let me leave the code here. I can comment it out. Yeah, I can comment it out if I don't want it to disturb me. So just, I'm gonna leave this Python document on my GitHub. So please, people, check that out if you would like to document variables and data types. Okay. Definition: variables are containers for storing data values. Okay, for beginners, that might be very vague. I'm a beginner too, but I'm not that type of beginner, You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of beginner. I'm the type of beginner who knows what a variable is. I'm just playing with you guys. So, essentially, what they're trying to say here is that you can think of variables as containers where you can store data inside. You know, you give your variable a name and you use that name to refer to the data you store inside every time you call upon it. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think they're trying to say. Okay, variable naming. Discuss the rules for naming variables, e.g. must start with a letter or underscore, cannot start with a number, cannot contain spaces or special characters. I hope you guys get this. This is very important as well. A variable can only start with a letter or an underscore, cannot start with a number, and cannot contain spaces or special characters. So the only thing, the only characters that variables accept are underscores and letters and numbers. Anything else, we don't want that shit. Excuse my French. Excuse my English too. hmm Variable assignment. Demonstrate how to assign values to variables using the assignment operator. Okay, variable. Let's go, guys. I, I told you that I made a mistake here, but I'll fix that. So let me just add in. Whoa, so this is Wow, I'm making a lot of mistakes today. I don't know what's going on today. Wait, just, I should talk about that. Wait, okay, let's go. So here we're gonna do variables. Uh, Basically you can name your variable anything. So let's name ours name. Yeah, it's better to use uh names that you know what it's referring to and use the appropriate data type, because here I'm using a string for a name which is logical, but you'll understand as we go on. Name, what can we name our person, a fictional person here? uh since now I'm from the hood buffet na kitwa kazi, so kimani ki ngibani mna nyinyi Sbura. So his name is Sbura, you know. So this is how variables work. I have stored the name Sbura in the variable name. Name is the variable and Sbura is the data inside. And this equal sign here is the assignment operator. You use it to assign data to a variable. I don't know if, okay, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Here I can print Sbura, right? I can do that and it will print Sbura on the screen, right? But I can also now, since I've saved the name Sbura in a variable name, I could just say name and shabalabadabad, we'll get the same result. You understand that? We store our information in a variable, you know, and you can store all types of data, even like all types of data types, number, five, you know, uh, print number, and you can name your variable anything. Ash five. There we go. Exactly what I was saying. You know, and the most important thing to remember when working with variables, like they said, you cannot, you can only an underscore name equals to okay, still from the hood. Check. Yeah. This is allowed as a variable. This is allowed as a variable name, and you're also allowed to have a number in the variable name, but you're not allowed to begin with the number. This is an error. Let's start with this one. Let's print it so you can see that. This is allowed. This does not give you an error. You see, check it, print it. But if I say 3 here and come here and say 3, this is an error, a syntax error, you know, invalid decimal literal. Basically, they're just trying to tell you that your syntax is not what it's supposed to be. Like, don't do that, basically. But you can put the 3 anywhere else except the beginning and shabala bang bang. It works. See that? See what I did that? So read this as well. This is going to be very useful. Let me comment this out. I leave the code here so you can remember what we were talking about and come back here. Try it out for yourself. Play with this for you to understand. So let's move on. Data types. This is very important actually. I wish I had put this somewhere in the beginning so that we can understand everything properly. But because, as I said earlier, when I did this, I was exhausted and but I managed to finish it and I'm doing the video now. So it worked out. Doesn't matter where I put what, but here it is. We finally got to it. Data types. Okay, so data types basically are the different types of data you will encounter. Basically, you can work with as well, you can use in your code, you know, just to make your code do creative things. Coding is all about creative thinking, man. That's what my perspective anyway. So let's start with integers. Explain that. Why am I telling myself to explain? Okay. So integers are whole numbers without decimal point. Basically, shebang. Doesn't matter if it's negative, doesn't matter if it's positive, as long as it doesn't have a point, anything at the back, it's an integer. Hope you get that in mind. Think about it. And a float. Oh my god, why was I talking to here? Float are numbers with decimal points. Floats are numbers with decimal points. So if it has a point something, doesn't matter if it's negative, if it's positive, it's a float. So if it's not an integer, it's a float, basically. Okay. So strings discuss. Oh my god. Strings are sequences of characters enclosed in single or double quotes, e.g. hello. Wow, I love this. E.g. hello, Python, 1, 2, 3. Uh, I don't know how I forgot to tell you guys about this one, but if it's a bunch of numbers and are enclosed in quotation marks, it's a string. It is not an integer. Anything in single or double quotation mark, it's a string, right? Don't forget that. Boolean, boolean basically is yes and no in the form of true or false. So true or false are Boolean values. Boolean values, whether it's like true or false, whether the outcome is true or false, basically, yes or no, and those are Boolean values. A list, is a defined list as ordered collections of items enclosed in square brackets. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we use square brackets to put items in a list. So if you find anything in square brackets, it is in a list. Like this example over here, 1, 2, and 3 are integers that are in a list. Let's come to the other example over here. Apple, banana, and cherry are strings, and they are also in a list, as you can see from the square brackets that enclose all of them. I hope you get that. Yo, I really did mess everything up. Variable naming now. After, didn't we do variables? Okay, now let's go. Let's go. Variable naming conventions. Descriptive names emphasize that the importance of using descriptive names for variables to enhance code readability. Okay, now I get why I brought this back. So here, ladies and gentlemen, basically what they're saying that it is important to use descriptive names when you are naming your variables, so that when you come back to your code or when someone else tries to read your code, your your variables just explain themselves. You know, it's easy for someone to just go through your code and read through your code. And here's a type of uh, a style of coding: the use of camel case. Camel case is where, okay, recommend using camel case for variable names. Okay, camel case is where like you put a little hump in the middle of your variable names. Instead of underscores, you use the hump. There's another way where you put underscores where it's let me just like first underscore name, you know. Then camel case is clearly a first name, you know, and snake case is next. Oh, I think snake case is the one with the underscore. But it's fine. You can choose however uh, way style you like. But what I can recommend is that with whichever style you choose, be consistent with that style. Just be consistent with that style and practice like uh, your coding style as well. How you like to write your code, how you know work with your code, so that when someone's reading it, it is just unified. It's like uh, it shows that one person wrote this code and this is what they were trying to do here, because the style is just so uniform. Variable reassignment. You can also reassign variables, you know, using the assignment statement again, assigning a different variable, changing variable values. Show how variable can be reassigned to different values. Dynamic typing. Explain Python's dynamic typing, where variables can change data types during execution. Okay, so hold up, my name. John. Duplicate. So my name is John now. Then I print my name and my name. Then I reassign. So my name is just the variable name. You know, you use the variable name, the same variable name, if you want to reassign uh, a variable to a variable name. You know, basically, my name is equals to Spura again, because Spura is boss. My name. There we go. My name is John. Then my name is Spura. So I have reassigned the value Spura to my name. Because first it was John, but now it's Bura. You know, basic operations, arithmetic operations. This is for you maths lovers, but you gotta know the basics as a programmer as well. You have to know the basics of all of this. Here are the arithmetic operations. Addition, it's the traditional plus. You add numbers. We have subtraction. It's a minus. What do we call it in a hyphen? Is it a hyphen? I think so. But here it's a minus. You minus things. And I think this is an apostrophe. Is it? No, it's not. Okay. It looks like a star, and on my keyboard it's an 8. So that's for multiplication. You'll see it, man, on your keyboard. You multiply two numbers. Then we have the slash. Is it the slash? Not the slash, man. Why am I forgetting names today? That's for dividing two numbers, one number by another. Okay, yeah. Expon exponentation. Exponentation. Hope I'm saying that right. Raising a number to another number. So this is basically this number to the power of another number. Then we also have assignment operators, like I was saying with variables. You can also assign like lists, tuples, sets, dictionaries to variables. Variables are very useful. We're going to use variables throughout. We have the assignment. We can assign a value to a variable. We also have addition assign, where you're adding a value to a variable and then assigning the result. I hope you hear this. And addition assign, it's a plus equals. It's when you add a value to a variable and then you assign the result of that addition to that, you know. It's the same with subtraction. You subtract a value from the variable and then you assign the results. So you're practically using the data that's inside the variable at the first place. Then you do whatever you want with that. You add, you subtract, you divide, you multiply, and then you assign the results back to that variable. It's the same with all of them: division, multiplication, subtraction. Then we have comparison operators. Equals to. Please note, equals to is 2 equals to here. So you have to use 2 equals to signs for it to be equals to in Python. What a single equals to is an assignment. So unless you want to be assigning anything, use 2, checking if two values are equals to each other, or not equals to, and that's an exclamation mark and an equal sign, checking if two values are not equal. The greater than, or greater than or equals to, less than, less than or equals to, Igbo, Igbo, logical operators. We have and, if both conditions are true. So if this and this, then this. So they both have to be true. No, both of them. Or on the other hand, either or can be true. At least one condition has to be true. and not negating a condition. So it turns true into a false and a false into the true, basically. Yeah, I had to provide code for that. So here we go. Can I print this one? Let's run this and see what happens. 50. So arithmetic, operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication. It's all the same, man. This is the what do I call this? The syntax of it all. With the exponents, it's like this. Let's run this and see what happens. See, so it gives us the exponential of 10. So it's 5 to the power 10. Basically, it's 5 to the power 10. Basically, yeah, 5 to the power 10. That's what that is. So I hope you guys can see the syntax here. So these are I used variables to store the numbers. Then I use variables again here to perform an arithmetic operation on them. You can change the operation to get different results and see what's happening. Division, multiplication, addition, subtraction, as above, as above, as above, as above. I've also shown you guys the use of I've also shown you guys the use of the assignment operator, whereby I'm assigning a value to a variable. I need to show you addition assignment now. So let's add an assign. So sum plus equals 1. So as you can see, okay, let's not use division here because it just complicates things. Addition is fine. Addition is fine. So as you can see here, the sum was 15, then I plus equals 1, then it was 16. You can do the same with all the other signs as well, operators. The minus equals, multiply equals, divide equals. The syntax is also the same. Syntax, this is it right here. This is the syntax right here. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. There's no way you're missing it. Look at it. That's it. So equals to, not equals to. The comparison operators I use on loops. Can we check them out? And these ones are used the most with if statements. Can we go deeper on those later when we get to those sections? Because now we have it. We're not there yet, are we? Let me check how much time we have. Yo, this video has turned out to be way longer than expected. So, guys, I think we'll just leave it here and we'll continue from here when we come back. Let me just leave a reminder here. This is where we left off. This is where we'll come back to next time. Thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. It's been Python Basics on Pydroid with your boy Melusi Makola. See you on the next video. Shout out.